Okay, so give my baby a cookie. We should be good for a minute. Finally, time for that quick yarn winding tutorial. Got some of my cotton yarn that I dyed, and then I've got my kind of messy hank of this here. So this is how to wind. Well, I'm going to show you how to wind a ball, but today I'm using hanks because those are kind of the big pain in the butt. Skeins are a little easier generally. So we're just going to use this one because I decided. So first you're going to untwist it and get it out. Now I prefer having somebody to just like hold it. If you have another person that you can either bribe or who cares enough to hold your yarn for you, keep them. I can't keep anyone still that long, so I'll be using this chair. It's a height chair. Don't do this. Disclaimer, don't do this while there's a baby in the height chair. Yeah, you. So I'm just going to be using this height chair here. Angle you down just a wee bit. Ignore my, there we go. You can also do this on a normal chair. For quite a while I was using two of my daughter's like mini chairs and having them separated. But basically you just want something that keeps it open. And like the sides away from each other, because if I just left it out, it'd make a mess real quick. Something that some people do is they'll actually like wrap it around their knees while they're sitting. So if you're wanting a core workout, you could do that. I don't want to, so I won't be. So we're just going to snip off the little ties that we did. I like to save mine and add them to my jar of miscellaneous yarn scraps. And then we're going to find an end. Ideally you want one that like kind of goes more on the outside, but sometimes, especially if you've been rough with your hank, that can be kind of tricky. So then you're just going to, go round and round. But I'm going to show you how I start. So what I do, I wrap it around two fingers a few times. I say a few, until it's a little thing. And then wrap it, wrap it the other way. So we got that little thing. And now we're just gonna wrap a few times, scooch it a little. Wrap a few times, scooch a little. And you're just gonna do that round and round and round. And you end up kind of doing a bit of a swaying motion sometimes because you're going around the chair just following your strand as you wrap. You wrap a few times, scooch a little in your hand. Wrap a few times, scooch it a little in your hand. I'm using very technical terminology today, I understand that. But your hands, they get used to it the more you do it. Your balls of yarn are going to look very lumpy and ugly for a very long time. That's just a fact of life you're going to have to accept. Mine usually look all right after a few years of practice. So it's we're talking utility right now, not visual. We're not talking prettiness right now. Now, with the chair, something else you can use if you're going to be using if you use hanks often, I would recommend getting a Swift. I just have a cheap little one that I got on Amazon for about $30. Still felt like a big investment though. So that's what I usually use because I don't use them. I use them more than I used to, but I don't use hanks often enough to justify getting like a $300 one. So yeah, You can really spend what you want, but if you're only going to be using hanks once in a great while, this is how you do it. So, as I was saying before, my daughter needed help. If you're only going to be using hanks every once in a great while, this is how you're going to do it. Saves you the money and space of buying a Swift. What I think is a good buy, regardless of if you use a Swift or not, whether you use hanks or not, is a ball winder. And I'll go grab mine and show it to you here in a moment. I've had that a lot longer than I've had the Swift. I've tried some different ones, but I found I really like one, it's kind of an older one, from Brother the most. But that's great both for, you know, just what you got left from a skein, you know, because like that tends to get kind of loose. You know, if you wanted to wind this into a cake, because it's a ball winder, but it really, it winds it into more of a cake. But then you can use the center pole or the outside, I don't know what that's called. You think I would, but winding it into a cake or a ball makes it usable. Yes, it does. Because trying to knit or crochet while it's still in a hank, you're just going to end up with a miserable mess, and it's just, my son has learned that if he coughs, he gets my attention. But yeah, so now you have a nice usable ball of yarn. I just take the end and tuck it under a few wraps so that it doesn't come undone. But there we go. So I'll be doing this with the rest of the cotton yarn. I'm also going to do it with the black hank that I had the other day. Oh, I'm going to show you that ball winder. So here's my ball winder. As you can see, it's a little on the older side. It clamps on the table at this portion. And then it, just by cranking it, it goes around while this part twists in the other direction. A pretty standard ball winder. But yeah, that ends up winding balls a lot quicker. I might do a quick little video of that going while I am doing my other ones. Just a quick little time lapse. But yeah, so that's how you turn a hank into a usable ball. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I don't mind. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, or I'm going to be doing some little crafts with some of that yarn that we dyed. If you have any other ideas, please comment down below. Anything you'd like to see. And yeah, have a good one and God bless.